mountain home to the mountain
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you for coming out to our weigh-in this afternoon. We are Wild West Bass Trail. This is Apex Tour Stop number 3. One more event left in the year before we crown the Angler of the Year. That will be at the California Delta. But today, we have 10 anglers. Our top 10 on Super Sunday are fishing for all the marbles. We started 2 days ago, cut to the top 10 after 2 days. Go back to 0. Whether you finish first or 10th does not matter. You start back at 0 and everybody's tied for first place going out this morning. Everybody's checking in right now at 1 o'clock. We'll start a weigh-in as soon as we have everybody in line. We'll do a hot seat as you see to my left. We're going to talk to the leader for a little bit. We'll set him in that chair until somebody knocks him out. Got a great event here at the Thermalito After Bay here in Oroville, California. One of the few lakes that is full. We need a lot of rain. Hope that'll come soon. We also host a team series and a Pro-Am series. To get here, you had to qualify through our Pro-Am series. We've had 4 events this year. We've got 10 new anglers coming on board with us next year. They qualified out of that circuit. We started the year here with 33 anglers. We're adding again to that next year. We go to different lakes. We go to lakes that are not normal for tournaments. We keep the size small. Our best anglers in the West, as we say, are fishing with this event. They could weigh 5 bass today. We're only going by weight. The winner with the largest weight of 5 fish will win this event. Will be our champion here. The first 2 days, we did something a little different. We do in all our events. We use a program called Tourney X. These anglers go out with a measuring device in their boat. You're able to check them online, see how they've done. Right now, it's cut off for the day, so you don't know who's going to win the event. We do that to keep the suspense up. But it's Tourney X. These anglers, every fish they catch, they measure on a board. It estimates the weight, and you can qualify to fish the last day by 2 ways: total weight and number of keepers. Don't matter what they weigh, but the overall number of keepers. So we take the top 5 in weight, qualify, and the top 5 in keeper count. Qualify to fish today. On day 3, we only go by weight. Got some great anglers on the water today. Mr. Juan Acosta leading it. He caught 24-19 for 2 days on weight. Close behind Greg Gutierrez, our first day leader. 23-34, had a tough day yesterday. Ken Mott, 22-56. The first 2 anglers had 10 keepers also, but they qualified through weight. The next 2 had 7 fish we got locally here. Also, Mr. Alex Klein, Austin Wilson rounded our top 5. Bill O'Shin in 6th place. Mark Lassane, Joe Uribe Jr. from Arizona, Nick Wood, and John Stewart also from Arizona qualified to fish on day 3. If they bring the fish to the scales alive, they're not penalized. They bring us a dead fish, they lose 0.25 per dead fish. We have a Yamamoto toad of the tournament. First day, had an angler weigh a 623. So today, $750 to that angler that beats that, if anybody can. We'll weigh a couple big fish, maybe today, maybe not. But 623 is leading that. If somebody knocks that weight out, they will win our Yamamoto toad of the tournament. I want to thank Mr. Kevin Finley, who is also an Apex Tour angler. Fishes that. He does that out of his own pocket, by the way. Had different conditions all 3 days. Yesterday it was a little breezy, very cool all day. Today, no wind, a lot warmer than it was yesterday. Got a lot more recreational traffic on the lake, so a lot could change. Great fishery. First day later had 18 pounds, Greg Gutierrez. I think our biggest weight was in the 15 range yesterday. So anything can happen. We could not be here without our sponsors. I want to thank Feather Falls Casino for being our host. They did a great job for us. We had a pre-tournament meeting there. Great folks. Great folks there. Most of the anglers stayed with them. We had dinner there in a pre-tournament meeting. Also, our national sponsors, Bridgeford Foods, joined us this year. Glad to have them on board. Bass Cat Boats. President, Mr. Rick Pierce, was here yesterday and today at takeoff. Glad to have their involvement. Mercury Marine, Hook Performance Fishing, Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, Power Pole, Duo Realis, Lithium Pros, Roman Made, Wood Brothers Flooring, Bob's Machine Shop, Super Clean, Garmin, Torch, Great Eyewear, P-Line, Valley Fashions, Lure Lock, Woo Tungsten Bass Angler Magazine. Again, Feather Falls Casino. This event is brought to you by Garmin and Duo International, co-sponsors of this event, title sponsors. Great to have them on board. Garmin, awesome equipment this year, entered the trolling motor market, superior here, and their products are unreal. Can't keep them in stock, for sure. Got some local dealers here, Bass Cat, Boatmasters, do a great job. Our Pro-Am series here, Mr. Luke Johns, qualified here to fish our Apex Tour. Young angler here, won Angler of the Year on our Pro-Am series. We still, after this event, have our team championships. We'll be at Lake Havasu for our Arizona division, championship in Southern Cal. We also have a Northern California division. Going to add the Northwest to the palette next year. We'll be up in Oregon and Washington in the Idaho market before long. I want to thank our staff here at Wild West Bass. Could not do it. Mr. Steve Maduna will be measuring fish. Got some great ladies here that help us, Karen, Darla. Got the Bacon brothers over here to my left. We appreciate their help be taking care of fish, and they're better known as the fish doctor. We have not lost a fish in 2 days here. A great fishery here. The water temperature here is really cold, so that's been really good. We've got it around 70 degrees, so it's a little cooler than we're dealing with this year, right, Steve? We also are on our live right here. Folks, if you can't see, you're welcome to come up here and get under the tents. If you're happy back there, that's awesome too. But thank you for coming out to our weigh-in. Awesome, as always, to have a great crowd. You heard me talk about Bass Angler Magazine. Mark Lassane, the publisher, is actually qualified to fish today. He's running that Bass Cat Mercury on the lake. We got 10 of the best anglers in the West. Wait just a few more minutes, folks at home. We'll get them up here. We're going to put them in the hot seat. We'll see who our best angler is on top. Till they get knocked off, we'll replace them. When we get done, whoever's sitting last in that seat, when we have one more angler left away, one of the two will be our champion here. Apex Tour stop number 3. Next event, California Delta. We'll cut the field in half. Our top 16 anglers will be vying for that championship and our Angler of the Year title. Will be settled at the California Delta. Steve, you ready to weigh some fish? Everybody started back at 0. We usually talk to our leader, but nobody's leading right now. So we're going to start weighing some folks and get a leader. Who are we going to get up first, Steve?
Mr. John Stewart.
John Stewart coming up. John qualified in the last spot. I'm going to give you a microphone, John. He qualified in the last spot. To get out there, man, I know that's the first qualification for you, man. It's been a while. It's been a tough year. You made it all better qualifying. John's also a co-director, helps us in Arizona, does a great job there, and an Apex Tour Pro. So we're glad for that, man. How was your day today?
You know what? It was really, really tough. I started at 0 and ended at 0. But talking to all the anglers, a couple of them got into them, but it was a tougher day, even like compared to the first and second day. Yesterday was windy all day, which I think helped the bite. A few of us improved, but today, real late, I found the fish. They're just tucked real in some thick grass, but every time you use heavier line, I would never get bit. So I downsized with a spinning rod. I'd start getting bit, but then didn't have the power to pull them out of the grass and lost 2 in there. But that's fishing. I'm just glad that I was able to end this season before the championship with the top 10 finish amongst these guys. And, you know, Apex got started with a lot of angler input, and it's going to be something special. We were kind of the pioneers for it, and there's a reason why these 32 guys were chosen other than just AOI points. It's to grow the sport, and we had some growing pains, but it is the caliber of these fishermen that's really going to let Apex thrive in the future. And there's a lot of people who may disagree that there aren't the best 32 fishermen in the West, because there's so many other. There's not just 32 of them that are really good. There's so many other good anglers, but it's just not their ability to fish that make them the best. Over the last 3 tournaments, the friendships that have been made, being from Arizona, there's just about the 6 guys that you ever talk with or hang out with or have dinner with. But now the camaraderie of all these guys, and in the mornings when anyone's willing to help get your boat in the water and all that, that's what makes these the best 32 fishermen. It's the character of the men. So it's the best 32 men that we've had so far. And it's going to be a pleasure to add the new group of guys that qualified through Angler of the Year and the Pro-Ams. And I'm looking forward to next year. Good luck to these guys that are going to be weighing in, and good luck to the ones that made it to the championship.
John was our last angler in, 10th spot to qualify, and he was almost ready to pull out of the parking lot when we got done. He had a good day yesterday, but didn't think it was enough, so I know that was exciting for you. Tell everybody you made a boat change this year, man. You got a new boat that you...
I did. I am running a Bass Cat Era with a Mercury 4-stroke, and I'll tell you what, going down this lake this morning with a little bit of that cool air, I hit 76 miles an hour. That's a 75-mile-per-hour boat all day, and it rides so smooth. And Rick Pierce from Bass Cat was out here, and we appreciate that. It's not very often that you see the owner-manager of a boat company come out and actually support the events that they say that they're supporting. So we really think that speaks highly of him and his company. If you guys are ever looking to ride in a Bass Cat, let me know. I'll be more than happy to give you a ride in the Era, and I know there's a few other models out there that people will be happy to give you a ride in.
John Stewart, everybody, from Arizona, buddy. Thank you, John. Be careful on your trip home. Who are we going to bring up, Bill? Next up, qualified in 6th place to go out today, Mr. Bill O'Shin, had 1993. Bill, did we have a tough day out there today?
Yeah, it was a little rough. I just leaned on my spot a little too hard, I guess, the last couple days, and I thought that I left enough, but I guess not. They just didn't bite. I really needed that wind. I'm a power fisherman, and wind is definitely my friend. But, I'll tell you, making a top 10 in the Apex against these guys and with this group of anglers is just amazing. And even though I'm, going to be at the bottom of this list today, having my wife and my little guy here, I feel like a champion anyway. So, and I just want to say thanks to my sponsors, CNC Marine, Phoenix Boats, Mercury Marine, and there's a few others out there that they know who they are, and they really take care of me. I'm running a Phoenix 921 Elite. I'll have it on the water here for the next couple hours, guys. So if there's anybody in this crowd, and by the way, thank you everybody for coming out. This is a great showing. Thanks everybody. But if there's anybody out here who wants a test drive, I'm going to be here for another hour or two, so just find me. I'm real easy to find, and flag me down. I'll be happy to take you out and let you drive it. So thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Wild West. It's been a great tournament, so thanks a lot.
Bill O'Shin, sir. Thank you very much, Bill. Been fishing good this year, my friend. All righty. Next up, our leader on weight coming in on day 3. Grab a couple fish there, Mark. We do have a lot of guys with bags in the weigh-in line for you. Stand right in the middle there, Mark. Real close, Mark. Got 3 bass today from Juan Acosta. Let's get a weight, Juan. You're going to take the lead, by the way, sir. How about that with these 3? Juan going to go 672, sir, 672. Let's give him a round of applause for leading this event after 2 days. Tell us about your week, sir.
Well, it looks like I ran out of fish. No, I mean, it was good. I mean, day 1, I started out in some trees and started flipping, and I caught one real big one, and then I caught another one, and then I caught another one, and after that, it kind of died off, and I scrambled and caught one more, so I only ended up with 4. Yesterday, the wind came up, and it was a little better, and I got more bites. I didn't catch them as early, but, I started flipping, and I kind of figured something out. Today, I only got 5 bites, and I had one real big one on, and I lost them in the 2 lease, and then I also had one just now come up on my frog and missed him twice. So that was pretty much it. So, I mean, it's a cool little fishery. It reminds me back home where I started fishing, flipping toolies and all that stuff back at Pinnacle Lake. So, cool little place. Just want to send a shout out to my wife, Gina, my daughter, Victoria, and Alex. And then all my sponsors, Coyote Bait and Tackle, they helped me out. And then Genesis, Phoenix Rods, and all the rest of my sponsors. So just want to thank you guys. I mean, I'm happy I made the top 10 against these guys, and we'll see what happens.
Always good. Juan Acosta, everyone. Thank you, Juan. Great job this week. Juan, come over here. Get in the hot seat there, Mr. Juan. I know 7 pounds, you never know where that could do. If you'll just sit right there behind this pretty trophy and relax a little bit. Next thing up, Mr. Nick Wood. Nick only had 5 fish this week, but they were the right weight. They weighed 1620. So he qualified on weight. In the 9th position here. 2 fish today. Needs 6 and some change to take the lead. Close. 6'11", Nick. 6'11", just a little short, I believe. But you had 3 good days, man. You keep fishing good. You keep qualifying for the last day.
Yeah, it's that's been my week, is just a couple fish. I can only get a handful of bites. I broke one off. I think they had it on camera. I had them right to the boat, and I'm fishing real light line on the rocks, and it just come undone. So I'm only getting a handful of bites. And yesterday I really struggled because of the wind. The wind was blowing into there, and it just made it real hard for me to fish. Today I got, I think, 4 bites there, but they're solid fish. That's what kept me going back. But there was just, I can't get enough bites out of there. So for what information that I had here, I'm happy. I made the cut. So I guess that's the most important. It gives you a shot to win at the end of the day. So I'm happy for that. But I'd like to thank Ryan and Amy Friend. Thank you guys. They put me up when I was here, and my wife and Katie Luke. I love you guys. And Redding Yamaha Sea-Doo, I really want to thank those guys. They've been a big support for me. And Ranger Boats, D&M Baits, Frenzy Baits, Greg, he helps me out with baits and stuff. So I really appreciate the support. So, and the Feather Falls Casino, thank you very much for hosting for us. We really appreciate that. The support that we get from the community is really important to the Wild West and the Apex Tour, and we need that support, and we appreciate it. I hope you guys know how much that means to us. So for all the anglers, it's nice to go to a really nice place, eat a really good dinner, and have all the facilities that we need, and we really appreciate that. So everybody, thank you guys for coming out. We also appreciate the support from you guys to come out and check us out. That's what helps the sport grow, and we all appreciate that. And Randy and Jeremy, we appreciate you guys' hard work.
Nick, keep knocking on the door. You're going to win one of these here soon. Nick Wood, everybody. All right. Local angler made a big move yesterday. Alex Klein here from Moorville, California. 2206. Big day yesterday. Feather Falls Casino Pro. 2 bites. A lot different than yesterday, my friend. We're going to get a weight. Juan, you're going to still stay there, my friend. How about 345? 345. Tell everybody about your week, Alex, and home here.
Yeah, so first off, thank you all for coming out here. This is awesome to see all the support from all the family and friends and everybody out here. It's pretty awesome. I think it's our biggest crowd at the Apex yet, so thank you guys all for coming out. But my week was good. The first day, I caught 2 big ones on a buzzbait. The second day, I junk fished. If any of you guys have fished the afterbay, you know it's hard to pattern these fish. One day you'll catch them, and the other days you won't. The afterbay definitely got the best of me today, and if you guys have fished this, know it gets you more than you win, than you get the afterbay. But yeah, I only got 4 bites all day. I missed a 5-pounder, and then I couldn't get one out of the toolies. So that was all I was able to come up with those 4, but it was a great week, and I think you're going to see some pretty big bags coming up behind us here and really see what the afterbay does have to offer. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming out, and thank you Feather Falls Casino for hosting us and making a great dinner and great lodging for everybody. So thank you guys.
Did you tell everybody how you caught your fish the first 2 days out?
I did, on a buzz bait, and then I junked fish on a chatterbait, and I flipped some, and I caught some on a frog. I just junk fished the afterbay for 3 days is all I did, and ran around and caught what I could catch.
Alex Klein, everybody. Great job, sir, this week. We appreciate you. That's another one, Juan. By the way, these anglers also no practice, 30-day off limits, can't talk to anybody about fishing at all, and they have a 30-minute drive ride-through on day 1. Next up, Mr. Greg Gutierrez, 2nd place coming in today. Had 23.34, had 18 and some change on day one. Struggled, I think it may on purpose yesterday, probably fished some new areas. We got 5 in there, Greg?
We got 5.
I'm going to give you this, my friend. Hold it just a second. We got a new leader. How about 9.54, Greg? 9.54, sir. Tell everybody about your 3 days, my friend.
You know, first day was awesome. I came up 3 days before the shut off, and I'd run around, and I was just trying to figure out what was what. And I ended up going up next to the bank just to look and see, because it's riprap all the way around. And I tried to figure out what it was about. So I got out there. The torch sunglasses are just amazing. I could actually see the break down there in that 8-foot break. You could see where it would turn to grass. And you could see where in certain places they would kind of make scoops in the riprap. And so I found a couple of those, and I would cast up on the bank. And if I could get the bait, the drop shot or the nail through the rocks, it would make that little drop into that little gully. And that's where I ended up finding my big bag yesterday. I started, first day, I started south, caught a couple fish in the grass on another rock point, and then I came all the way up north, fished this stretch right out here, and then I ran it about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I took off, and I just started running everything I could to see what I could find extra. Day 2, I just ran south, and I ran some of the old waypoints that I found on the first 3 days of practice, and I caught a couple fish. I never even came in here yesterday at all. And then I was hoping it would reload, and the area that I was fishing, the scoops, I had a couple scoops that I was fishing. They just didn't have the fish in them, and I started working down, and I got bit, and I set the hook on this fish. Actually, I was casting out, and it was sinking. It was falling. When I realized it's not that deep in this part of the lake, and I started reeling. I finally caught up to the fish, had it on for 30 seconds or so, and then it pulled off. It was a decent fish, so I repositioned, cast out there again, caught that one. It's almost 4 pounds, and then I just stayed in that area for the last hour and a half and caught a limit. But that was it. You know, I really did work hard for those fish, and I noticed that the bite was really subtle, so I stayed with 2 finesse baits. I threw a drop shot. I was throwing a margarita mutilator worm, and I was throwing a green pumpkin Reaction Innovations flirt worm for a scale down, and then an oxblood colored Reaction Innovation flirt worm to scale down if I got around fish that I thought were a little pressured. And then I threw a frenzy bait snail with a 7-inch worm, and I caught fish on the bigger worm than I did, more fish on the bigger worm than I did on the little worm. But that was it. Yeah, I cycled through a bunch of other baits, through buzz baits and topwater and everything else. But when it came down to it, those were the 2 baits. My eye rods were so sensitive in picking up the bites because the bite was so light, and that's probably the key for me. I did scale down. I'm hearing guys throwing light line in the grass. I use 8-pound test gamma, and in that grass, I just pull those bigger fish out with it. So I throw the most expensive line on the market because it's the best for me. But yeah, that's been the deal.
Tell these folks, Greg, just a little about Duo Realis is presenting this event. One of our presenting sponsors. I know they've been with you a long time. Tell them a little bit about their products.
You know, that product has made me a lot of money. All their products have really laid down some money for me this season. I threw topwater jerk baits. They got just an amazing array of colors and styles of bait. And they're really thought out. They're weighting systems to make them cast, allow them to cast further, and still penetrate the water. For jerk baits, their crankbaits have some have rattle, some have knock, some have no sound, and you can select in between based on depth and what you're fishing. But the colors of what they have are just outstanding. I have yet to break one on a cast on riprap or on a dock like an LV. If you cast it out there, you might as well just cut it off, throw it away. I've yet to break a Duo Realis bait on anything hard. So really durable, awesome colors, best hook on the market.
Made you some money this week, everybody. Greg Gutierrez is going to take the hot seat right here.
Thank you.
Great job. We'll see how long that holds up. Greg won many titles with the Wild West Bass, Angler of the Year, traveled all over. Next angler up, great young man here, Joe Uribe Jr. here, Bridgeford Foods Pro. Glad to have him on board. Joe came in 8th place on weight with 1647, and he had 7 keepers on 2 days, so struggling a little bit, but good job today, Joe. I believe that was a quick visit in the hot seat, my friend. No, I thought it was bigger than that, Joe. That's 906 though. Let's give him a round of applause. 906, a great angler here, and I know Joe's got some things to say.
Well, all I got to say is we survived. It's really cool coming to these new venues like this, and I did 0 practice. The only research I did was the week before I was going to leave. I'm thinking, I better look at this place, see what's going on. So I went on YouTube, and thanks to Joe with Bass Union, I was checking out some of his cool videos, and kind of gave me an idea what the lake kind of looked like, the contour and everything. I was really excited to come out here. The water was obviously a lot higher than we all anticipated, but other than that, I just came out here with an open mind. I practiced every day. I did something different. Day 1, I caught my first keeper on a 6-inch RoboWorm Margarita Mutilator on a drop shot, and then I caught 2 on an eco rig, and that was it. That was the only 3 keeper bites I got. Just kind of looking around, seeing what everybody else is doing. On day 2, went out again, practiced, caught my first fish in the morning on a frog, which was kind of cool. And then after that, I went into a bay that just had the right ingredients, and I said, man, this looks good for punching. And the first fish I punched, I was throwing a Reaction Innovation Big Texan 4.20 Sweet Beaver with a 1-ounce Voss weight tungsten on 50-pound sunline, and my Daiwa flipping stick. And, I hit the first fish, and it came off, and I'm thinking, okay, that was just me. I'm just rusty. I haven't punched in a while. So after that, the next 3 bites I put in the boat, and they were all quality. I caught a 5 yesterday, so that kind of tipped me off, and I knew there was another fellow competitor that was going to be in that area. So I had a good feeling that was a spot to win the tournament, and I think I was right. So, but today I kind of went out, threw a buzzbait around. I knew a lot of guys had been throwing it. Never got a bite on a buzzbait. Had one kind of roll on it, and that was it. I went back into this bay, and I just went in there and kind of fished around. Fish were not set up underneath the mat like I thought they'd be in the morning. Maybe it's still a little cool. So I took out the power shot and caught my first 2. Those 2 ones that I held up there on a 6-inch RoboWorm Margarita Mutilator on a power shot. And that was it. I caught those 2. I'm thinking, I caught them back to back, and I'm thinking, man, this is going to be great. And 2 hours later, nothing. So I said, you know what? I need to go air out my Mercury. So I got up, idled out, and got on plane, just kind of ran around, got a fresh air, drank some water, pulled into a cut, and I'm thinking, I caught a frogfish over here yesterday. Let's go try it. Same cast, same area, same size fish. Frog ate the frog, and I'm like, cool, that was awesome. Fished around, nothing, and then right before it came in, I had one yesterday chase my chatterbait. It was like a little 12-incher on this little Thule island over here, and I'm like, I'm going to pull him there and see if I can catch that fish. I skipped a Nico rig in there, caught that fish. And that was my 4th one before I came in. But that was it. Having an opportunity to make the top 10 against this caliber of anglers, makes me humble inside and know that, I'm making the right moves. And, in order to win one of these things, everything has to go right. So, you just got to stay positive, open mind, and just go out and fish. And I really, really like this format. It's very challenging for me personally, not only not to have practice, but to fish brand new lakes I've never been to. So it's definitely something that the West needed. I want to thank Jeremy and Wild West and all the staff for putting this together, and all the great sponsors you see back here for helping make all this possible. And thank you to the city of Orville for having us. You guys, great crowd. We got some more Bridgeford product for you guys, so make sure you stick around. I also want to thank Cliff and Blossom King for allowing me to keep my boat at their house at Ione, California. I dropped my boat off after weigh-in at Comanche at our last event, and I didn't see it till I came the day before the tournament. Picked it up, but they housed my boat for me up there. I appreciate that. Gary Souza and his beautiful wife, they had great hospitality for us. They let us stay over their house. We had a great dinner again yesterday, and great conversation, great company. So excellent people. I think the world of them. So thank you guys, and also my beautiful fiance Amy and our son Blake. They came out here, which is super a treat for me. Having them come out here and be a part of this and support me on. So I appreciate your support, and all my sponsors and family back home watching. Thank you guys for all the messages and all the support. And boy, we got the Delta next, right? That's our championship. So looking forward to that. So thank you guys all for coming. Appreciate it.
Joe Uribe Jr., guys. Great job, sir. Great angler. Down to 3. Down to 3. I got Mr. Mark Lassane coming up. Had an outstanding week. Had 16 keepers the first 2 days, guys. 16 keepers. He's got another limit today. Another limit. We need 9 and some change to knock Greg out of the seat. 9:55 to lead. Mark, Bass Angler Magazine. Man, you read your own magazine. Does it teach you what you need to know?
It's helped me a lot. You can tell by this year, and not quite 9:55.
8:44. 8:44. Tell everybody about your publication, man. You were close, man. I thought you had more than that with 5.
No, you know what? They're real little. So yeah, I own Bass Angler Magazine. So we're a how-to bass fishing magazine. So you guys want to learn how to catch more fish? Pick up a copy. They're at 4,000 locations across the country: Barnes & Noble, Bass Pro, Tackle Warehouse, all over the place. So, big shout out to Wild West for bringing Apex out here. My first top 10 in Apex. Happy to do that. Happy to be here. You know what? I caught my fish. I caught 20 fish drop shotting, this week. So, I was catching big ones in practice, but the water went way up and the water cooled off, and those ones just weren't biting for me. I was catching them on a spook, on top of these grass beds, and I caught one today, and I caught one on the first day, caught one on a frog today, and I punched one yesterday. So my goal today was to make sure I got 5 and hopefully finished, at least in the middle of the pack. I mean, obviously I want to win, but if I'm not on those kind of fish, I want to at least get up there so I make the championship, because I was down a little bit in points, like 22nd. I'm hoping this will bump me up and I'll make that championship since it's right in my backyard.
Tell these folks, Mark, a little bit about Garmin. Man, you've been with them this year, know a lot about the product here. I know they've helped you, and they joined on board with us at Wild West Bass, and this event is co-sponsored by them.
Garmin is great. I've been using them for about 7 years. I was using Garmin before Garmin was cool. Before Live Scope, and they just had like regular old sonar like everybody else. But then they came out with Live Scope, and I'm gonna tell you, it just changed the way we fished. I caught a lot of them on it during this event, and I have to tell you, so I love to punch. And I was in the Delta punching the other day in about 12 foot of water, and I throw my punch bait down there, and I watch my punch bait about 10 foot back under the mat go down, and I see this fish go over and grab it. Set the hook and caught him. That was amazing, and that's the first one I've seen punching, so I'm going to have to work on that a little bit more. So, I'd like to give a big shout out to Price Sims, Ford Fairfield, the dealership. They helped me out a lot. Bass Cat Boats. I don't know anybody that fishes more than I do, so I'm 250.
Start a magazine, everybody. You can go fishing a lot.
Something like that, kind of like if you own a tackle shop. But I fish 250 days a year, and I have to say, Rick was here yesterday, that I have not had one problem with the boat, since I had it. So 250 times out there the first year, my first Bass Cat, so it's been awesome. So
looks like after some of that Quest money, you may have struck gold again, maybe, huh?
I think so. John struggled. I hate to see that, but another Quest check won't hurt.
Mark Lassane, everybody, great job, sir. Just a little short. Mr. Greg Gutierrez over here, by the way, still in the hot seat. Greg won our first Showcase Apex event that we had up in Oregon, Arlington. This gentleman here to my right, Austin Wilson, qualified, probably leading our Angler of the Year program. He had 20.02 coming in. He had 9 keepers coming in after 2 days. He's got another limit, and he was the first champion we had in stop number 1 at Lake Almanor. Our champion there. We need 9 and some change to take the lead. You may get another hot seat over here, Austin.
Yeah, for a little bit anyway.
Yeah. Austin Wilson, great job, young man. 17.50. 17.50. Did we get a picture? Grab it. We got 5. Grab a cup, Austin. Let's get another picture, my friend. We got 5. Step real front right there. Oh, there you go. Right in the middle. There we go. What a bag of fish. I believe that's our second largest stringer of the tournament. 17.50. You got it, Steve? I'm going to give you this microphone, my friend. I know you got to be excited with that. You've had a heck of a week catching fish, without a doubt.
Definitely. I'm probably not going to talk as much as the last few guys.
Yeah.
I'll probably keep it short and sweet.
Tell them how you did it all week and tell them what your secrets were.
So the first 2 days I caught a few frogfish and Cinco fish is kind of how I caught them. Yesterday was really tough. I only caught 2 fish. And I didn't know how today was going to go. I thought I burned through my fish. Fished the same general area. Fished up north. And there just wasn't a whole lot of boat pressure up there. I don't know the reason why. I mean, it looked so good. I figured the weekend, there would be some more people up there because all the boat traffic out here, pleasure boaters running around and waking out everything. So I went up north and just stuck it out up there. Caught some chatterbait fish, a couple frogfish, and I caught a punchfish today. So it was a pretty good day.
How many keepers today?
I think I caught 13 or so.
13 today.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
No boat traffic at all where you were at? No other anglers?
No, there was only one other fisherman up there. One other angler.
That was it, man.
That was it.
30-day off limits, no practice here, didn't get anything, man. No. You're just fishing strong right now, my friend.
I came up and pre-practiced like 6 or 7 times, so I put my time in up here. Place is awesome. There's a lot of grass, and it looks like the Clear Lake or the Delta, has a little bit of current rolling through there. I know the water was super high this week. And I think that cooled down the water. They're pumping out of Orville and whatnot, so that's why the weights were so low. I know if the water temp was up, everyone would have smashed them because there's a lot of big fish in this place, a lot of 3 to 4 pounders.
Austin, let's give him a round of applause, folks. New leader here, grab a seat in my hot seat. Steve, if you'll hold Ken Ma's fish, if you'll hold his bag just a second. Let's get Ken up here and talk with him just a little bit before we weigh. That's tough to follow up, my friend, but I believe you had a good day too.
Yeah, I've never been here, just to come here and have the day that I had. It's why we do it.
And they're very rare, ain't it, Ken Ma? They're hard to come back when you go get to the top 10. You got a 1 in 10 shot to go out and fish against these guys. And it's tough to win one, man. When you get more than one, sometimes you've done something. But you're a great angler. You help us so much here at Wild West Bass to make this circuit run off the ground. All of our anglers do. They all work together. And a great young man here in law enforcement, by the way. And he serves us in that context, too, but a great fisherman, too. But tell us about your day so far.
Let's weigh them. I'll talk later.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll talk later.
Bring them up, Steve. Let's see what we got, Austin.
He wants to weigh him first before he gets any photos.
Does he?
Yeah. No, I'll do whatever you got.
No, we'll do it. Let's do that, my friend. Let him drip a little. Pull that out. Let's get all the water off. Don't get him any extra water now. Let me drain this out. We need 17 what to take the lead? 1751. We have 5 fish. They're all alive. We got a new champion here, 1944, Ken Ma. Hold that above your head, Ken Ma. I know you've talked about that, my friend. We're going to get a picture of your fish. Step up a little closer, Ken, toward the front. There you go. Tilt that where you can see the bottom, my friend. If everybody noticed that beautiful logo on the bottom at Wild West Bass, this is what, like Ken said, is why we do it. Champion here. Worked so hard. 2 great anglers here. Set that there, Ken. Let's get a couple pictures here with your fish. Champion here, Apex stop number 3, Mr. Ken Ma. Blew it out of the park today, our largest stringer of the tournament. Waited. A lot of people said Ken Ma catch him on the Delta. He went somewhere other than the Delta, my friend. Grab that microphone, Ken, and take all your time you want, my friend. I know you're proud of this moment. Worked very hard for it.
I'm emotional because this is all of us do this for this. That's why we do it. We put our basically our lives into it. And the guys understand. Everybody's nodding their head. The family just It's just a big deal, Randy. I'm never at a loss for words. Let me get this. Enjoy it, Ken. Thanks, Nick. Oh gosh. I want to thank Joe. Joe and I were sharing an area, and I caught a couple, and he could see my wheels were getting going, and he left, and he knew the winning fish were there. We both talked about it, and he said, "Hey, we can win. You and I can win this tournament in there," and I agreed with him. So as things got going, it was really tough in there. I'm getting my win now, Randy. It was really tough in there, and the sun got right. The wind laid down, and after Joe left, it actually settled me down, because for those of us that know, when you fish next to somebody great, and he catches a fish, it wears on you. So when he left, I settled in, and I put a hurting into him. I think the big thing that I did this week, 80-pound braid, sunline braid, and what I did was I went to 1 ounce and 3/4 weight, because the fish they weren't eating a bait. So I went to 1 ounce and 3/4 weight, and when it was falling through the grass, it was falling so fast that they had to react to it. And that's why I was losing a lot of fish early in the week, is you put a big 1 ounce and 3/4 weight on. The grass we're fishing, it doesn't take 1 ounce and 3/4 weight. You can get through it with 1 ounce. But you throw 1 ounce, they won't eat it. So I went from 1 ounce to 1 ounce and 1/4, 1 ounce and 1/4 to 1 ounce and 1/2. And then today I went to 1 ounce and 3/4. And bait falling by them, they just react to it. But the problem is, when you have 1 ounce and 3/4 weight on and you hit one, that weight's swinging back and forth, and you end up losing them. And Joe and I were both in there. He saw me. I lost one close to 5, and I didn't have 5 yet. So, I appreciate it. I respect all my peers. It's a class act. The anglers that I'm fishing around are some of the best. And Wild West and Apex and all the supporters that are bringing this, Josiah, his group, there's so much that happens behind the scenes. Karen, Darla, Randy, I'm missing people, Michael. There's so much staff that puts this show on for us to shine. And I appreciate their time and their hard work and all that other stuff that they do. It's not easy holding a camera watching us catch 3 fish. I promise you. There's 100 other things you could think about doing. Okay, but I want to thank those people. And I'm not going to be much longer. But just same thing. Joe had talked about it. Vexus has a reward program. That's the boat that I run. For any circuit that you fish, as long as it has 60 boats or more, Vexus will pay you an additional $10,000 if you win that event. Okay, it doesn't matter what circuit it is. It could be anything, as long as there's 60 boats and you can prove it. So if you run a Vexus, the other thing is I've had my Mercury since October at 120 hours. I fish more than Joe. I got 120 hours, and I have not had a single hiccup with that engine. So if you guys are looking to repower or any of that stuff, please look that direction. And today, I pretty much caught every fish on a big bite college crawl in a spicy purple. I was throwing the little 3.5 one. It's a little small weight bait on a 3/0 Gamakatsu super heavy line hook and 80-pound sunline. And I caught one fish on a topwater bait, and everything else was on a flipping stick. But I really appreciate the crowd, and thank you very much.
Tour stop number 3, Apex Tour. Your champion, Mr. Ken Ma. Lift it up one more time, Ken. Let's get just a couple more pictures. Anybody missed out? I know that is a good feeling. That's why we do it here as staff for Wild West Bass, to see these young men go out here and win this, try hard and spend a lot of money and time to go out and compete. Make a great champion here. It won't be the last time I'm sure he hosts one of these trophies. It's heavy, man. I know you didn't want to touch one. Ken will be around if you want to talk to him, folks. Thank you again, Ken. Anything else you want to add, my friend?
Done.
Done? Spent? Great job, young man. Let's give him another round of applause as he steps off here. And we'll close out here on TV, man. Hope that's a beautiful trophy. I know you'll appreciate that. Top 10, just a note, David Brown from Florida be calling you, all 10 of you. Look for a call from Florida number. Please answer it. He needs to get that done today. Call him back as soon as you can. David Brown. Thank you, David, for taking care of us. Could not be here without our sponsors again. Bridgeford Foods, thank you for everybody coming out this afternoon to our weigh-in. So appreciated. Again, look for us in October at our championship. We'll be at the California Delta. Also, Bass Cat Boats, Mercury Marine, Hook Performance Fishing, Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, Power Pole, Duo Realis, Lithium Pros, Roman Made, Wood Brothers Flooring, Bob's Machine Shop, Super Clean, Torch Eyewear, P-Line, Valley Fashions, Lure Lock, Woo Tungsten, Bass Angler Magazine, Feather Falls Casino. Thank you. Thank you to the City of Orville for coming out here and supporting us. 100% release on our fish, no dead. In 3 days, we'll leave them back for you guys to catch. Look at us at wildwestbasstrail.com, working on schedules for next year. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Everybody at home watching.